Robinson.
Well, quite the active afternoon here in terms of the severe weather. Let's get to it. We have a tornado watch in effect until 7 p.m. for the central and eastern counties in our viewing area. Coles County, Vigo County, Clark County, Edgar County, as well as down in Jasper, Crawford, and Effingham County. That's until 7 p.m. Off to the west, it's looking like it's starting to be dropped, actually. The watch has been allowed to expire for Shelby County, Effingham County, Macon County, and those other ones up by Champaign County as well. Let's check out some of the cells we still got in the area. Just a couple off to the east of Terre Haute, just starting to scoot out of the area. We have another small line just to the southwest of Charleston and north of Effingham. Not really doing much, just a couple of sprinkles compared to what we saw earlier in the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've been seeing with these storms here. During the day today, they moved across the area, definitely several lines developing throughout the afternoon because we saw those really warm temperatures. We actually saw highs up around 70 degrees that helped to fuel a lot of these cells. We had a couple of warnings up by Champaign and Vermilion County. For the central areas, mostly just severe thunderstorm warnings along Interstate 70 as that cell moved to the east. Now, here's a couple look at what precipitation totals are based on the radar. These areas where we see these green shading, that's where we've seen about an inch of rain, if not a little bit more. Some of these darker greens peeking around in there, closer to a 1 1/4 inch of rain. So you can definitely see where those cells primarily impacted right across Douglas and Coles County. Another cell down by Effingham County, that one that raced across to the east over towards Terre Haute. Now, these cells, they are finally pushing out of the area, moving into southwestern Indiana, but definitely a very long line all the way back towards Cleveland, Ohio, and stretching all the way south down towards Missouri and Arkansas. And that's along this cold front that we have here that's been sagging ever so slightly to the south throughout the afternoon. It's going to continue to do so and continue to pull those storms along the front of it. Now overnight tonight, that cold front is going to kind of go stationary, which means it's going to stall out basically. It's going to hold a lot of the moisture down to the south. We are looking at mostly cloudy skies for the night, but by the morning, we should start to see some clearing. And tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be much like it was today, actually, very warm and breezy as this next low pressure tracks to the southeast towards the Midwest. It's going to pull warm air northward, much like we saw today. However, not quite as warm. This cold front is not going to be nearly as strong either. This cold front is rather weak. That's why we're not seeing any of the rainfall popping up along it. Most of the rain up to the north over the Great Lakes. By tomorrow afternoon, the cold front is slowly going to push through the area. Again, still staying pretty dry for much of us. Most of that moisture should be down to the south. Behind it, though, that's where the cold temperatures are going to be at. That's where we're really going to see the cool off once the second cold front comes through. Now, temperatures right now sitting in the low 60s already. We've already dropped about 10 degrees from our afternoon highs. 61 degrees for us in Charleston, 55 degrees in Paris, 52 in Danville. So it's definitely starting to cool off behind the front. With that being said, though, here's what we're looking at for the rest of this evening. Temperatures are going to fall through the 60s, 60 degrees, and falling for the rest of the evening. Now, for tonight, we'll be heading down to a low around 49 degrees, so a bit chillier than the last couple of nights. Still mostly cloudy, but those clouds will begin to leave by the time we hit tomorrow morning. Winds will be turning back to the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour as the low pressure comes into the area. Now, tomorrow afternoon, there's that nice warm temperature we should be looking at again. 64 degrees, warm, partly to mostly cloudy. Again, that stationary front is going to keep most of the rain south of us, but we should see some clouds come over it. Now, for tomorrow and moving through the week, we are looking at a return to more November-like temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday. Mid-40s, skies will be mostly sunny as well. By the weekend, though, we do have another chance for a couple of showers. High temperature on Saturday, 61 degrees. So it'll start to feel like November. Give it another day or two.
You know, coming back from Effingham today, me and my photog were so nervous that we were going to see Spiral come out of nowhere. Those tornado warnings.
Yeah, we saw a couple of them. I would have been great if you had gotten some. I would have loved that.
No, I don't agree with that.
Thanks,
All right. Thanks, Will.